Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon, and in today's video I'm going to be putting together lasagna for my family. Well, actually I'm going to be putting together two lasagnas, one with beef and one without, because we do have someone in our home that does not eat meat. So I'm making one larger lasagna and then a smaller one for my daughter and her boyfriend. I think what probably is going to happen is that I'm going to have my husband, I'm going to put everything together, get everything like the ground beef cooked, get all of the lasagna items put together. And then I'm going to wrap it up and have my husband put it in the oven later on before I come home from work, because I work until 6. And today the kids don't have school. It's professional development day for their teachers. My one son does still have football practice and soccer practice, so he won't be home until late. But for the rest of us, it'd be nice to have dinner ready at a normal time, which has not happened in such a long time. Now that soccer season is coming to an end for high school, it looks like we're gonna have some more free time after work and after school. So that's gonna be nice. So we can actually eat dinner before 9 o'clock. So I need to get this started because I need to get ready for work in a little while. So let's get started.
I tried my best to pull out as many things as I could think of that I was going to need for this recipe, although I didn't use a recipe. I just threw this together. I can leave the items I used in the description, but I really just threw all of this together, so it wasn't from a recipe. I feel like it's hard to screw lasagna up, but I guess it's possible. Anyways, I will leave the ingredients below. I wanted to get my vegetables that were going to go into the actual meat sauce started on the stove. So here I am dicing up the green bell pepper and the onion so I can get it going on the stove. I just put a little bit of avocado oil in the bottom of the pan, get it a little hot, probably medium to medium high heat, and I'm going to cook these vegetables in here for 5 or 6 minutes until they get nice and soft. After those veggies soften up, I add a can of diced tomatoes. After a couple more minutes, I add a jar of tomato sauce. On the other side of the stove, I have 1.5 pounds of ground beef that I ended up only using half of, but I am browning that on the other side there. I then added a generous amount of Italian seasoning to both my sauce and my beef, as well as some onion salt. Now that my ground beef is browned, I'm pulling half of it out to save for another meal, and I'm going to add half of the sauce to the ground beef mixture for one of the lasagnas.
Okay, so at this point I have the two sauces are cooling on the stove. So I'm gonna get the ricotta cheese mixture put together And while I do that, I'm just going to try to do two things at once. I'm going to try to multitask because I do want to talk about things that are going on in my life. The main thing that's going on in my life right now is that my daughter is getting ready to move out. So that's just really, she's 23, so she's at an age where it makes sense for her to move out, but I'm just, it's weird. It's like I'm ready, but I'm not. So for anybody who has had a child that's moved out, no matter what the age, how do you do it? I feel like she's capable, but I'm just nervous. So she's moving out with a friend and her boyfriend, and it's a nice apartment. It's a nice big, it's actually like a townhouse, like a villa almost. So I'm excited for her, but it's gonna be so weird. My middle son is already ready to move into her old bedroom because she has the biggest bedroom out of all the kids. He's been waiting for this for like 11 years now. I wasn't really feeling it before because she had put an application in for this apartment and I didn't really know what was going to happen with it. It wasn't a for sure thing. They were just kind of looking, and then all of a sudden everything got approved. And then she said she was supposed to move. She thought she was going to be moving at the end of October, like the very end. And now it's today, which is, we're like in the middle of October, not even. So I'm just trying to wrap my mind around all of it. Ugh. So I have a 23-year-old daughter, and I have a 16-year-old son, and I have a 13-year-old son. And it is just going to be really weird without another woman in the house. Well, I still have Lulu and Maisie. They're both ladies, but I'm going to add some shredded Parmesan to this. I didn't buy shredded mozzarella. I thought it would be easier to use sliced mozzarella. So I'm adding some shredded Parmesan just to give it a little more density. And I'm going to put some Italian seasoning and a little bit more of this onion salt that I used earlier from Trader Joe's. It's good on everything. It's so good. So anyways, back to my daughter moving out. It's going to be a huge change for us. And even though she kind of just does her own thing all the time when she's here anyways, we've just never done this before. So it's going to be hard for my husband and I. So I'm also going to add some grated Parmesan cheese. A lot of these ingredients are brand new, so I'm having to open everything. My husband and I went to Aldi yesterday, and we only went to get pita chips, and then I saw this like pre-made lasagna, and I was like, oh, that would be convenient. And then I was like, you know what? It was really small. It looked really good, but it was really small, and it was like $14. And I thought, why don't I just get the ingredients and make it? That makes way more sense. So that's what I did. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of wing this because I don't have a recipe in front of me. I mean, I feel like most lasagnas are made pretty much the same way, so I'm hoping that this works out well. But typically you layer the bottom with sauce. So this box, which is specifically for oven-ready lasagna, so you're not supposed to have to cook the noodles first, it says to add a 1/4 cup of water or milk to every 5 lasagna noodles. So I'm gonna add some water to the bottom of this just to make sure that they cook.
So I layered the bottom of my dish with sauce. Then I added 3 lasagna noodles that fit perfectly. After that, I'm adding my ricotta mixture, which has ricotta cheese, some grated Parmesan, shredded Parmesan, 2 eggs, and seasonings. I'm going to layer that on top of my noodles. Once I get a good layer on those noodles, I'm going to add some slices of mozzarella cheese. Typically you do this with shredded mozzarella, but I thought that the slices would just be easier to lay out on the lasagna, honestly. Once I have the layer of mozzarella down, I repeat all of the steps again. And typically I would repeat them maybe 3 times, but I think with this lasagna, I just ended up doing it twice. When I split the sauce in half, I found that it wasn't really stretching as far as I wanted it to, so you will see me add another jar of sauce to these lasagnas because I was worried that the noodles weren't going to cook. I was kind of just going with the flow with this recipe, just putting this lasagna together, and you just kind of have to add things where you need them, and I needed more sauce, and I did actually add a little more water as well, and it ended up working out. You can see here is where I pulled out that extra jar of sauce, and this is sometimes just what you have to do in the kitchen. You just have to redirect or pivot, if you will, and just go with the flow, and this is what I needed to do. I just felt like I needed that sauce, and then I topped it off with some grated Parmesan. You'll see me repeat all of the same steps with this lasagna as I did with the last one. The only thing missing from this one was the ground beef. At this point, I wrapped both lasagnas up with aluminum foil and put them in the fridge for my husband to cook when he got home from work.
Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. And I will have a clip after this to show you what that lasagna looks like, how our dinner turned out. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
This lasagna ended up cooking in the oven for about an hour, and when it came out, it was warm and gooey and bubbly and delicious. Everyone in my whole family loved it. It was gone very quick. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.